Hello, this is Mr. Inadequate. You see, before your path of exile, I'm just going to go on a little rant, story time kind of. Uh, so, anyhow, I went to the doctor's today about my cough and my lungs and everything, and I have mild emphysema. Now, I always thought emphysema was the bad thing, but apparently it's COPD, which I don't have. I have emphysema. They're going to give me inhalers. They didn't tell me to stop smoking, so I probably won't. Uh, See what my wife says about it. But, I'm 72. I, in many ways, have led a rough life, but that was my fault. Nobody else's. I made some very stupid decisions in my life, and it is what it is. You know, First of all, any of you who are listening to this, I was an addict for 22 years, mostly marijuana, but other things too. Beer, brandy, pot, occasional other things. And I gotta tell you, you should probably leave that crap alone. Not telling you to. I'm suggesting that uh, it's just, it's not good for you. Now, alcohol probably is less evil than the rest of it. Marijuana, but I don't know about marijuana right now because I see all this stuff about uh, fentanyl, and they're putting it in everything. Obviously, I don't think they're putting it in alcohol, and I'm not really sure they're putting it in marijuana. They could coat it, I suppose, because I had marijuana at one point that was soaked in opium. So, and there was tie sticks coated with things, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not impossible for marijuana to have the fentanyl in it. The fentanyl will kill you. Fentanyl is one of those, you know, molecule difference between how much they put on, and you're not a repeat customer anymore. The other thing is there's something called, I forget now, whether it's monkey bones or monkey dust or something. It's in England, and it's kind of like PCP. It gives you, you know, the cops are afraid of it because they say it takes 11 people to bring one person down because it's like wrestling the Hulk. People tend to eat glass, climb up buildings so they can jump off, and then walk away even though they're injured. These are scary things, man. We didn't have we had the PCP, but for the most part, we didn't have the real crazy shit. The bath salts that make you eat somebody else's face. You smoke them. There's a lot of crazy shit out there. And, you know, I'm just telling you to be careful. That's all I'm doing. I'm glad that I don't use anymore. I smoke pipe tobacco. I get from somebody, a shop I know. And other than that, you don't know. That's my big thing. Now, I don't know what else you want me to talk about. I'm a veteran. I served 4 years in the Navy, which kind of toughened me up. I was not that tough a kid. And I did a lot of things. I'm mentally ill, and that affected, I'm responsible for every action I ever took. But saying that, I didn't always have control over what I did. My craziness would take over. I call it black rages. You could probably call it berserker behavior or whatever. And I worked very hard on that, and haven't had an episode in a long, 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 long time. Decades, I would think. But the world today, I'm not going to get into politics. I wish here in the United States that we have an age limit is you have to be, I believe it's 35 to run for president. I think we should have an age limit. If you're 65 or older, you can't run for president. If you were 64 and you ran and you're 68 now and you up for a second term, you shouldn't be allowed to run. I'm sorry. The problem is things happen. You get more of what you were. You go more set in your ways. You start losing things, the ability to remember, the ability to speak coherently. And I think you've seen that from both candidates in this upcoming election. And I'm not faulting anyone. I don't particularly like either of them. And I just think that mostly there should be an age limit. I also think there should be term limits on Congress and the Senate. These are, you know, they're not going to change, but I think they should. And I don't know. I sound a little depressed even to myself, but it's just there's nothing I can do at this point to change the world. I know what I believe in, and I try to do right. I try to pick my battles. I try to leave well enough alone where I can. You know, if somebody doesn't like me, leave it alone. If there's somebody I don't like, leave them alone. Don't start trouble. Because basically, starting trouble never achieves anything but trouble. It never solves anything, really, that I have ever seen. And I've started a lot of trouble in my life. And I realized that I probably forgot to turn the volume up. So if it was very low, I'm sorry. Now it's very loud, isn't it? Haha, starting trouble. But, you know, I was talking to the doctor today, and I don't exercise. I used to take a lot of hikes, go fishing. And when I say fishing, type of fishing that I and my friends did, well, there was a time when we just sat down in one place, throw out our lines, and fish different types of fish, river fishing, bullhead fishing, stuff like that. On the other hand, my last fishing buddy and I, we would go to a spot, we would make casts, and then we'd wander up or down the creek, finding other spots. And then when we're done fishing, we'd have to walk back, and we'd probably hike 3, 4 miles by the time the fishing was done. You know, not a hard hike, not walking steady, but you did a lot of traveling. And then there was hiking that I did also, and I miss it, but I don't really have anybody to hike with at this point in time. So my exercise mostly is walking up and down stairs, sitting in a chair and taping videos for you guys. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to continue making videos. I'm in a work ethic now as far as it's concerned. And I'm going to have a problem coming up because I want May to be Manor Lords. And there'll be one more April video after this, whatever it is. And then I really don't have any videos to make until April 26th when Manor Lords comes out. Maybe I'll try to find a game. I don't know. But the point is, you know, I I guess what I can do is keep playing Path of Exile. I kind of want to try City Skylines 2 again, see if I can't get over my problems with it. And there's a couple other games I could play while I'm waiting for Manalords to come out. When I say play, I mean play, not record. Like recording is probably going to be done for a couple months in the next video, after the next video. And it's just, in this storyline stuff, I really have to be in the mood to talk. And I'm not, as you can tell, probably not in that much a mood to talk. I just didn't feel like playing more of Holiness right now because I vaguely remember the end of Act 3 in Path of Exile, and I vaguely remember that it's a wild ride without many stopping points. So, and I don't even really truly remember what Act 4 is about. Vaguely. I don't think yeah, I know. Well, when I came back, I had a character that was level 62, so whatever act that was, I no longer have that character because I would have had to reset all the passives, and I just didn't even want to have to try to figure out how to do that. So the equipment she had worked. She was a witch. And there's things I don't understand about this game. The Val, that's VAAL, gems that are corrupted. I can't get them to work. I don't know why. The ascendancies, I'm not really sure about them. And it's just, probably when Path of Exile 2 comes out, I'll be able to learn the game from scratch better. And I could go and play Lost Epoch. I've had the game for quite a while. I'm not in. I was impressed with it to begin with, but I'm not as impressed now. And I don't even know what it's like now, to be truthful, because they changed things a lot in that game during the early access. They really did. And we'll have to see. Right now, you know, it's almost 50 degrees outside, and this is February 21st, upstate New York. That's crazy shit, man. Crazy. And I saw it's supposed to be in the upper 50s, almost 60 on the last week of February. We haven't had much of a winter this year here in Syracuse, which is known for its winters. We really have not had much of a winter at all, and last couple of years I've noticed that instead of January and February, it's March and April where we get a lot of snow, and that's so disheartening because March was always a transitory month, cold, warm, in like a lion, out like a lamb, in like a lamb, out like a lion kind of deal. But around St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, things usually started getting a little bit warmer, and you saw hints of spring. And then April was truly spring. But the last several years, I've seen more snow in April than I have the rest of the year, or so it seems. Anyhow, I just wanted to put out this video. I had been asked to put a story time. You know, I know people like to hear other people's stories, but I don't really like to talk about. I did a lot of stuff I'm not proud of, and wish things had been different. And I'm glad that I'm able. This summer, I'll be celebrating 31 years clean. That is impressive for me. And, you know, it is what it is. I hope I made sense. I hope this qualifies for your story time suggestion. And this is Mr. Inadequate signing out.